Hey Rick, I see you're getting all set up there. Where's your
Yeah, caught me mid-move, didn't
where
you? I was
where's
like
your
positioning.
where's your PA? I know you got a PA in the house.
Yeah, she and well, I have three actually, and they're all very busy cleaning right now. House
Are
needs some attention.
do
Yeah.
they clean naked? Have you ever done that?
What, hired someone that clean naked or
No.
clean
Well,
naked myself?
or either one.
Well, first of all, I don't clean, so that wouldn't happen. And if I hired someone, no, I have never hired. I've seen ads for people that want to clean naked.
Now, many years ago, when I was living in Los Angeles in a previous life,
Oh God, no,
I
don't.
did some of that. Some of that. It was, but all I did was clean.
Oh my God, that's what I remember back in the day when they were advertising. Do they still do that, or are they just on Russian wives now, or whatever?
I don't know. I'm sure there are still, you know, people who offer that service. But anyways, thank you for so much for doing the podcast this morning.
Well, it's
We've been going back and forth. But my problem is, and I think you know this, is that I'm like I have like hundreds of not hundreds, but I have at least three, four, five ideas going on all the time, and I don't have. I have a job. I have this 9 to 5, and I'm always like, well, what can I do? What can I not do? And then I anticipate stuff, and then I think, instead of just waiting until Saturday morning or Friday or whatever, I'm like on Monday, I'm thinking, I've got all these other things I want to do on Saturday morning. We shouldn't do this anymore. But, we love doing it. I love doing it.
Well, they say you're supposed to be out of your mind, not in your mind. And I don't know if you all have heard that before. And welcome to the Cafe B, by the way.
Oh, let me get the bell.
I know I don't have my bell, but I do have my coffee. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for all joining us. Those that are coming to the cafe for the first time or those that are here before. But I want to remind you all that being out of your mind is better. Sometimes I think, Mark, when we get in our mind, things get crazy and we hear other voices but be out of your mind and live boldly. That's what keeps you healthy. Because when you're in your mind, you have a tendency to get locked up someday if you're really in your mind too deep. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And hopefully the volume will be perfect again. It's really tricky because if I'm a little bit too far away, it's not loud. If I'm too close, it rattles. But so we
Well,
just
and we gotta quiet about that too because this is an illusion of the third wall. Or what the fuck? What the fuck did we learn in theater? What is it? The third wall or the fourth wall or what are we breaking or
But
not breaking?
everybody breaks the fourth wall on TV. They do it all the time. But it's so funny because we think that and we're getting way off track, but we think that this breaking the fourth wall in Modern Family and all these TV shows was something new. But I saw him do it on I Love Lucy. I saw one of if Fred or somebody broke the
Are you
fourth wall on
serious?
I Love Lucy. Looked into the camera.
I would love to see that. I'd love to find that episode. I may go search for it. Of course, it's a thing that's been known in Shakespeare time as the aside. They've been doing it back in theater forever, and those of us trained in the theater are very familiar with the concept.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, big week. Beep 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 beep. Ding ding.
Who's starting?
I don't know, but I just not even a subject, but back to what you said, how far we've come from I Love Lucy to the new not Netflix, Amazon Prime series that's coming out called Transparent. Very excited to see it. It's about Jeffrey Tambor plays a transgender mother, and his wife is Judith
Wow.
Light. Yeah, so check it out. It's free to Prime users like yourself. Like I said, Judith Light plays his wife, and they have three kids. Very excited about it. Transparent.
Yes. See, now you're bringing up. There's so much stuff we can talk about. But
I
we've
know.
decided to keep these because my books are on Amazon, and there's this thing now, Kindle Unlimited, where you pay $9.95 a month and you can download all the books you want.
Oh,
So, but I've noticed in the reports for my sales that more people are now downloading my books as part of for free than are buying them, which is okay because I want the readership. It's nice to see 100 plus books every couple of weeks going out there, but I'm like, I hope I get. They're supposed to pay us something. It won't be much, but still, it's
mm.
like it's a trade off. It's a trade off. I want the readership, so I gotta live with it. Now, shall I start?
Yeah, the real subject's on. Ding, 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 because
Ding,
again, we've changed subjects. So,
ding, ding, ding.
hey, I'm not fully dressed for the day either. You kind of caught me midstream. I haven't put my jewelry on. I haven't really combed my hair. So I apologize to all of you. Mark kind of threw this one on me. But yes, go, Mark. Subject.
It has to do with, and this is I've been posting about this on Facebook quite a bit. I've decided to just leave it alone, but I did put it on my blog too. Is that this whole Adrian Peterson thing? Because I think too many people in this country, especially evangelicals, are big believers in corporal punishment because they misread this scripture. There was a superb op-ed in the New York Times by Michael Eric Dyson, who's a black scholar and a preacher, a Baptist minister. But it's must reading, but he talks about the history, the psychology in the black family of beating their children. But white people do it too. I guess I was the victim of that. I experienced that. My father beat the shit out of me a lot, and it was called spanking. It was called discipline, and it's child abuse. It's child abuse, and studies have shown the damage that this does to 4 and 5 year old brains because they're being flooded with these fight or flight hormones. I mean, I can't talk too much about it right now because it would take forever. But basically, I think we abuse children a lot in this country, all over the world. I've often thought it's one of the reasons the world is so fucked up, is because boys are being just beat, and without a second thought. And of course, you're going to grow up violent and fearful and all this other stuff. But whatever that separate issue might be, I think it's time for people to stop looking the other way and stop saying this is okay. How you raise your children is your business. No, it's not, because your kid grows up to be violent and angry and frightened and affects the whole society.
It does, to tie into that, I was at the NAACP 100th anniversary in Shreveport last night, met Mary Landrieu, which was really interesting, took a picture with her, I'll have to send it to you. But the gentleman that was speaking was a great orator of the ilk, I would say, of Martin Luther King, very inspiring, great speech patterns. But he said one of the issues we still, we've boarded the train, we've come a far way, but we still haven't addressed issues like that. And he called it call you what you want, capital punishment, or is that what they call it sometimes? Corporal punishment, or, I know better than that, or like you said, spanking or whatever, but it is an issue. So it's interesting. He must be responding to the story you're speaking of, huh? Was that big news?
Well, it was huge. It was huge news because the guy got suspended a few games, and it's caused this whole a lot of conversation. And you've had football players, and not just football players, but you've had quite a few black men saying, "Oh, my daddy beat me in it."
Yeah.
They won't say beat because we're in denial as a society that this is beating children. You're not spanking them, you are beating them. That child experiences it as violence and an attack, and it's a sure way to raise somebody who hates you. They may tell you they love you for the rest of their lives, but see a therapist. I was helped by a superb therapist, and then the last thing I'm going to say about it is, if you're interested, the books of Alice Miller. She wrote The Drama of the Gifted Child, which is really about all children.
Incredible.
And it was amazing stuff, and the things we do to kids. And so it just really came up for me around this whole thing. So that was one of my
They say what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Mark, and I see it in you. I know my own history, and I'm a stronger person too. So ding, ding, ding. Good subject. Yeah, and part of my ignorance, I know the stories of the NFL. I've been watching the commissioner. He's not going to retire, but he said admittedly that he knew about the story of that one player from whatever team that beat his wife in the elevator and blah, blah, blah. That leads to my other subject. Well, two subjects. One about being smarter, being better educated, because I'm certainly not proving my point today, not having made that connect. And we'll get back to that. But I also want to say it's timely. Miss America, we talked about her last week. She was crowned on Sunday, making the press. Have you read any of the response to our new Miss America, Kira Karstanzev? I think
all I've read, because again we pay different attention to different things. All I read was that at one time she had interned at Planned Parenthood.
Yes.
So all these right wingers were like, Miss America is a baby killer, and come on.
And you're the one that sent me that link, that part of the story. I was following the positive part of the story. Well, two parts of her story. Well, three parts. She's the third New Yorker in a row, which pissed a lot of the Miss America people off, of which I assume I am one, having been in that business for, training in that business and having three friends that were Miss America. So they were upset by that. Then they were upset that her talent wasn't good enough. Many of you have probably saw the next day she was on Michael and Kelly, or Kelly and Michael, where she plays the song Happiness, sitting on the ground, singing and playing to the cup, like the movie Pitch Perfect. But her voice was beautiful. I watched it with a contestant friend of mine, and she was awesome. So the community itself started beating her up and berating her. Then this all comes from the outside, people that, the Planned Parenthood. The very next moment, she takes her LinkedIn connection off. She was a student at Hofstra University. We forget the fact she's triple majored, speaks 3 languages, daughter of 2 Russian immigrants in this country. And here's a young woman that is making a difference in lives. She's not out there beating people. She was beaten in a college relationship through domestic abuse, which is her platform. I think Miss America failed miserably, the organization. I think they should highlight the platforms. They should highlight the intelligence. None of this stuff came out of the good things she's doing until after the pageant. They don't even focus on the platform, which has been a part of the the system for 20 some years and the difference these young women are making. Instead, they want to make the pageant about the plight of Atlantic City and how Miss America can put a good spotlight back on it. Well, I saw no evidence of that, and I'm sure tourism isn't up today because of it. And I think Atlantic City, you've been there, still has its issues. But the Planned Parenthood thing, and then I'll shut up. Leave her alone. Why don't we look at the positive? She was working in sexual education for 4 months. If you get deeper, the statement from Planned Parenthood was she wasn't even dealing in the, quote, abortion realm of it. Yeah. And we all forget that Planned Parenthood, like you say, Mark, is much more than just a place to go and get an abortion. And let me remind you, because I have friends with this experience, you don't just drive into Planned Parenthood and say, please take my child from within me. It's far more complex like that for the young woman. And it's certainly, Planned Parenthood certainly does an effort before they look at that as a last resort. So anyway, enough said.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. I think the attack on Planned Parenthood has been going on a long time, and I think it really has more to do with women's reproductive rights than it does with abortion, because even if more. Anyways, but that's the other thing I just wanted to throw in there. You mentioned her being abused in a relationship. I also, when the hashtag Why I Stayed was trending last week, I do want people to remember that domestic abuse, spousal partner abuse is also prevalent in the gay community. So people need to remember that it's not just women being beaten by their husbands. There are men being beaten by their partners, their male partners, and lesbians being beaten by. So let's remember that, please.
And there's nothing to hide. And let's on a lighter note before you switch gears on the pageant front. Honey Boo Boo's Mama June, filing for divorce. She's still going to be in the life.
From Honey Boo Boo? Can she divorce her?
No, she's not divorcing her
child.
daughter. She's divorcing her husband, Sugar Babe, or whatever his name is. Honey Bear. Honey Bear has. Did you know Honey Bear has 3 daughters of his own? Chubbs.
Oh my God. That sounds like Adrian Peterson, the NFL guy. He's got like 7 kids. He won't say how many. He's got like 7, 8 kids by 3, 4 different women. But he's tweeting out scripture, right? He's tweeting out fucking scripture. Okay. Honey Boo Boo getting a divorce.
Yep, done. $1 million net worth. It'll be messy. Your subject.
Okay, my subject. It's kind of the last one because we're doing good on time this time. We're watching.
Well, I got something yet. I got something yet too, but it's your last one. Yes, go.
Well, then it's going to be it's going to be vague. It's like I'll just make it really quick.
All right, I'll comment on your subject and we'll be happy to go.
Go. Politics. Wow, crazy stuff. Hillary's going to run, man. She's been in Iowa. She's doing it. I got to get behind her because it looks like she's it.
Yeah.
And we got to keep the White House because that's the other side of that coin is that Republicans are like probably going to take the Senate, and we're going to have at least 2 more years of me unplugging because I just can't watch this crap anymore.
Yeah, no. On that subject, I mean, yeah, media all over Iowa when she made her appearance this week. I think she's going to declare sooner than they say next year is when she was going to make a decision, but I think she's going to make it before the midterm elections, or at least give all intents and purposes that she will, because they know that to keep her, we need to hold the House. We need to hold Congress and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's it. Sounding smarter, that's it. I just want to say I was out last night and the waitress admitted she never read Huffington Post or the Shreveport Times, for which I write, or any news.
How can you talk to somebody who doesn't read? Like, what do they know if they're not reading?
I was double insulted. Doesn't read the paper I work with. Doesn't read HuffPost. But we were basically saying, I said, how do you get your news? Younger woman. And she said, from my friends. And then we questioned her and said, well, maybe it's a little tainted when you get it from your friends. So on the other end, maybe it's priority. Like you and I, we learn from each other. Those listening and joining us at the Cafe B learn from each other. But
number 29.
I just say, what's that?
29. Cafe B number 29.
That's right, number 29. Here we go. But there's a cool video series on YouTube. If you don't know things, like I couldn't pronounce Miss America's last name. So I was waiting for you to call. I went and looked it up. How to pronounce things on YouTube is one. The other one is called Food Beast, and it's fun. Like today, it's a guy and a gal, and the guy says it wrong. The girl corrects him every time. I don't know what's that way, but it always goes that gender order. But anyway, like 21 wines, how to pronounce Sangiovese and Chablis and Cabernet Sauvignon and some of the other ones. Gewürztraminer.
I like that.
Yeah, because some people say Chablis, and it's not.
Oh, that's crazy. That's peanut. Give me a glass of peanut.
Peanut Noir. And you don't have to sound dumb. Self-educate yourself. The materials are out there.
So final bullet points, because one of these times I'll plug all my stuff. The anthology of LGBT writers is coming out, forward by Patricia Nell Warren, who wrote The Front Runner. So excited. And I'm Age to Perfection is, and this too, I'm going to cross-post it, going back on Blog Talk Radio. That was my surprise.
Oh my gosh. How are you going to do that?
I'm right now. It's amorphous, but I did
Okay.
the ATP. That's our acronym for Age to Perfection. I did it with Dave Hughes from RetireFabulously.com,
Fabulous.
you just upload, just like I put these on SoundCloud. I just upload it to Blog Talk Radio and it goes out as a podcast. But I'm looking at doing some live ones where I'm just interviewing various people because we've talked about that. I like.
But then don't you have to pay for it? I mean, we can take this home.
I do pay for it, but I like live stuff, but I also like that we get more listens. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to be too transparent here, but we
I know.
our YouTubes are doing good.
Well, thank you.
No, but a small but devoted audience, and the Blog Talk Radio shows would always did pretty good. The SoundCloud. SoundCloud is really for musicians. It's hard for people to even know that the podcast is on there. So, anyways, we'll talk some of the time. But I thought,
because we got to hail the cab and get on to go.
Well, not only that, but it's a monthly thing. So the fee. So if I say, this isn't happening.
Oh, I didn't get that. Okay, got it.
Stop it. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
So listen, we're in the city. We're gonna have a fabulous time going to Macy's, and it's so good to be back in the cafe with you.
Yeah, it was great to see you this morning. Thanks all for joining. I'm going to actually head out and go set up my pop-up shop. Check it out. Go to Facebook, Twine Downtown Shreveport. Learn what I'm up to, Mark. Going crazy. What am I doing? Why do I get deeper and deeper in trouble? Anyway, much love to everybody.
Have a great weekend. See you next time. Ciao.
Bye.